Welcome to THE 1020, Introduction to Theater with Bobby Bell. What is theater and what is a play? On the slopes of the Acropolis in Athens, the theater of Dionysus Eleutherius, as seen from the Theatron, helps us understand the origin of the word theater in the Greek word for the seeing place. The chapters from your textbook that you will read on what is theater and what is a play will give you the majority of the information for this lesson module. Here I only wish to explore a little more fully the concepts of impersonation and performance raised by your text. With impersonation, the actor on stage is simultaneously both the actor and the character. The actor is both real and unreal. This paradox of the actor was extensively explored by Denis Diderot in his The Paradox of Acting, which was written by Diderot between 1773 and 1777 and was published posthumously in 1830. As an audience member, we are swept away by the performance and believe in its reality, and yet remain enough detached to not rush up on the stage to stop Brutus before he stabs Julius Caesar. Nor do we rush out to call the police after the murder. In a sense, we participate in the creation of theater's duality. We are co-conspirators in our own deception. This process was first explored by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, a critic and literary theorist as well as a poet, who in 1817 published his Biographia Literaria, where he originated the term the willing suspension of disbelief, for the moment, which constitutes poetic faith. The theatrical convention of the mask gives us another glimpse into this duality, a duality explored by the modern philosopher George Santayana in his Soliloquies in England and later Soliloquies, published in 1922. Where he contrasts the humanity always glimpsed beneath the comic mask with the inhuman fusion of flesh into the tragic mask, where the actor has crystallized his soul into an idea. Performances in the theater can be broken into two general modes, presentational or direct, and representational or indirect. In some plays, both performance modes can be seen, as in Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie, where the character Tom is sometimes clearly aware that he is a performer in the play and directly addresses the audience.
I have tricks in my pocket. I have things up my sleeve. But I'm the opposite of the stage magician. He gives you illusion that has the appearance of truth. I give you truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion. I take you back to an alley in St. Louis. Time, that quaint period when the huge middle class of America was matriculated in a school for the blind. Their eyes had failed them, or they had failed their eyes. So they were having their fingers pressed forcibly down on the fiery Braille alphabet of a dissolving economy. In Spain, there was revolution. Here, it was only shouting and confusion, and labor disturbances. Sometimes violent and otherwise peaceful cities such as Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit. That is the social background of this play. The play is memory. Being a memory play, it is dimly lighted, it is sentimental, it is not realistic. In memory, everything seems to happen in music. Well, that explains the fiddle and the wings. I am the narrator of the play and also a character in it. The other characters in the play are my mother, Amanda, my sister, Laura, and a gentleman caller who appears in the final scenes. He's the most realistic character in the play, being an emissary from a world we were somehow set apart from. But having a poet's weakness for symbols, I'm also using this character as a symbol, as the long-delayed but always expected something that we live for. There is a fifth character in the play who doesn't appear other than in a photograph hanging on the wall. When you see the picture of this grinning gentleman, please remember that this is our father who left us a long time ago. He was a telephone man who fell in love with long distance. And so he gave up his job at the telephone company and skipped the life fantastic out of town. The last we heard of him was a picture postcard from the Pacific coast of Mexico containing a message of 2 words. Hello, goodbye, and no address.
At other times, Tom interacts with other characters on stage in a representational mode, as if he is unaware that there is an audience out there watching.
Oh, honey, don't push your food around with your finger. Now, if you have to push your food, the thing to use is a crust of bread. Oh, and eat your food slowly. Don't gulp it down. Now, animals, they have secretions in their stomach that allows them to digest their food without mastication. But human beings must chew their food slowly before they swallow it down. So, chew and chew. Just eat leisurely. Ooh, eat leisurely. A well-prepared meal has many delicate flavors that have to be held in the mouth in order to be fully appreciated. Don't you want to give your salivary glands a chance to function?
Mother, I haven't enjoyed one bite of my dinner because of your constant directions on how to eat it. It's you who makes me hurry through my meals with your hawk-like attention to every bite I take. It's disgusting. All this conversation of animal secretions and salivary glands, mastication.
Temperament like a metropolitan star. Oh, you haven't been excused from the table.
I'm getting a cigarette.
You smoke too much.
Mother, I'll bring in the coffee.
Oh, no. I'll be the hired help today. You be the lady of the house.
But I'm already up.
Well, resume your seat. Resume your seat. You stay fresh and ripped for the gentlemen callers.
I'm not expecting any, Mother.
Well, that's the nice thing about gentlemen callers. They arrive when you least expect them. Well, I remember when I was just a girl in Blue Mountain.
I know what's coming now.
Yes, but let her tell it.
Again?
She loves to tell it.
Oh, yes, I remember when your mother was just a girl in Blue Mountain. Once, I had 17 gentlemen callers. Sometimes there were so many that we had to send the help over to the parish hall to fetch the folding chairs.
Well, how did you entertain all those gentlemen callers?
Well, I happen to understand the art of conversation.
I bet you could talk.
There can be extreme versions of both modes. For example, in a famous production of The Governor's Lady, directed and produced by the American David Belasco in 1912, instead of a set, he went to the ultimate lengths of representational theater by dismantling a chain restaurant of the day, Childs, and reassembling the actual restaurant on stage. However, the fact remains that the audience is always co-creator with the production team, and for that reason, all plays are a mixture of presentational and representational modes, although certainly one mode may dominate.